Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for everything to align. The only thing standing between you and success is your comfort zone. If you're not actively pushing yourself into discomfort, you're stagnating. You're losing ground while the world races ahead of you. Wake up and force yourself to get uncomfortable right now. You think you're playing it safe? Wrong. Comfort is your biggest enemy. Success doesn't come from chilling in your cozy little corner. It comes from bracing the grind, pushing beyond limits, and forcing yourself into discomfort over and over again. In this video, we're diving deep into how forcing yourself to be uncomfortable is the key to leveling up in every area of your life. Let's break free from mediocrity. Comfort has been sold to you as the ultimate goal, the prize that awaits you at the end of a long, hard day. But I'm here to tell you that comfort is the greatest lie ever told. Comfort is not the answer to success, it's the death of it. Comfort is the shackles that hold you in place, stopping you from reaching your highest potential. Success does not come from avoiding discomfort, it comes from embracing it head on and using it as the fuel for your growth. If you want to be ordinary, stay comfortable. But if you want to achieve greatness, if you want to rise above the noise and become something more than just another face in the crowd, you have to be willing to step out of that comfortable bubble you've been living in. It's in the discomfort that you find the magic of transformation. It's in the hard moments that you uncover your true power. Think about the most successful people you know, the ones who inspire you, who seem to have it all. Do you think they got there by playing it safe? Do you think they got there by always choosing the easy route? No, they got there by doing the hard things when no one was watching. They got there by embracing the struggle, by stepping into the unknown with courage. Every challenge you face, every uncomfortable moment you endure is an opportunity for growth. You see, discomfort forces you to stretch beyond your limits. It forces you to think bigger, act bolder, and move faster than you ever thought possible. It's easy to stay in the safety of what you know, to avoid the fear of failure, the sting of rejection, or the possibility of embarrassment. But guess what? Every time you choose comfort, you're choosing mediocrity. You're choosing the path of least resistance, and that path leads nowhere meaningful. Mediocre people are the ones who play it safe. They never take risks. They never push themselves. They never try to go beyond their current circumstances. And as a result, they stay stuck. They stay stagnant, wondering why their dreams never come to fruition. But if you want to break that cycle, if you want to be more than average, you need to understand that growth requires pain. It requires sacrifice. It requires discomfort. And that discomfort is not a bad thing. It's a sign that you're on the right track. When you're uncomfortable, it means you're changing, evolving, pushing yourself to be something better than you were yesterday. And that is the price of success. The harder you work, the more you challenge yourself, the more you push yourself beyond what you thought you were capable of, the greater the reward. But it's not going to happen if you sit on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect opportunity. The perfect moment will never come. You have to create it by forcing yourself to step outside of your comfort zone and into the uncomfortable, where the real growth happens. Success isn't reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It's for those who have the courage to face discomfort head on and turn it into a powerful force for change. So stop hiding from discomfort. Stop looking for shortcuts. Get used to being uncomfortable, because that's where the real progress is. You want to win, you want to rise above the rest, then you have to be willing to put in the work, to embrace the discomfort, and to push yourself harder than ever before. Comfort doesn't lead to greatness. Discomfort does. And that discomfort will be the foundation on which you build your success. So, get uncomfortable, get moving, and watch your life transform. The most powerful force in your life, both for good and bad, is your mind. It's the filter through which everything in your world passes. Every decision you make, every action you take, stems from your mental conditioning. For most people, this conditioning has been built over years, instilling fear, doubt, and hesitation at every turn. It's natural. It's how you've been raised. But let me tell you something you might not want to hear. That programming is your greatest enemy. It's the reason why you're stuck. It's the reason why you haven't reached your full potential. The fear of discomfort, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment. These are mental constructs that hold you back. They're illusions, designed to keep you safe, but in the process, they also keep you small. It's easy to believe that avoiding these feelings will protect you. But what if I told you that the only thing standing between you and your success is your own mind? What if I told you that every fear you have is a barrier that you created, and that barrier is the very thing that's stopping you from breaking through to the next level in your life? You have to recognize that these mental barriers are not insurmountable. They're self-imposed. The moment you start pushing past them, the moment you stop seeing them as obstacles and start seeing them for what they really are, nothing more than fear and doubt, you'll see how small they really are. Most of the time, these barriers exist only in your mind. They seem bigger than they are because you've given them power. But the second you choose to confront them, the second you decide to act in spite of them, you'll realize they were never as powerful as you believed. The first step to breaking these mental barriers is simple but not easy. You have to stop running from discomfort. It's not about being fearless. It's about being willing to move forward despite your fear. Fear will always be there. It's a part of life. But your ability to move through it, to act in spite of it, is the game changer. The most successful people in the world didn't get to where they are by avoiding fear. They got there by choosing to act anyway. They forced themselves to take risks, to step into uncomfortable situations, and to keep going even when their minds were telling them to quit. Think about your own life. How many times have you talked yourself out of doing something because of fear? How many opportunities have you missed because you allowed your own mind to talk you out of taking that first step? Every time you do that, you reinforce the mental barriers that hold you back. But every time you push past them, every time you force yourself to act despite the fear, you build resilience. You start to change your internal programming. You rewire your brain to see fear as a sign of growth, not a reason to stop. Breaking mental barriers doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, it's a journey. But every time you confront a fear, you dismantle a piece of that barrier. Every time you choose to move forward, when your mind says no, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than the limits you've placed on yourself. And that's when the magic happens. That's when you realize just how much more you're capable of than you ever thought possible. So don't wait for the fear to go away. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The magic is on the other side of discomfort. And the only thing stopping you is you. Break those mental barriers. Challenge your mindset. Push past the limitations you've created and watch yourself evolve into the person you were always meant to be. The moment you decide to stop letting fear dictate your life is the moment you unlock your true potential. The power to change your life is already within you. Now, it's time to force yourself to go beyond what you thought you could do. That's where greatness begins. Willpower is often underestimated. It's not some abstract concept that only a few people possess in abundance. It's a skill, a muscle that anyone can develop, but only if they are willing to work at it. Just like physical strength requires exercise to grow, willpower demands that you push your limits consistently. The more you challenge yourself, the stronger that muscle becomes. And with a stronger will, you'll be able to tackle life's toughest battles with a level of determination that most people can't even imagine. However, the only way to truly strengthen your willpower is through discomfort. People often confuse willpower with something you either have or don't have. The truth is that willpower grows through struggle. It's about stepping into situations that challenge your comfort zone and forcing yourself to persist despite the obstacles in your path. You don't build willpower by avoiding challenges or taking the easy route. You build it by confronting discomfort head-on and making the decision to push through, regardless of how hard things get. Imagine yourself facing a monumental task that feels overwhelming. Whether it's pursuing a new business venture, tackling a difficult project, or even breaking a bad habit. At first, it seems impossible. Your mind wants to give up, to avoid the struggle, and retreat to what's familiar and comfortable. But when you force yourself to keep going despite the resistance, you're essentially doing the equivalent of pushing yourself through a wall of mental resistance. The more you do this, the easier it gets to push through the next challenge and the next and the next. Each moment of discomfort you push through is a rep, just like lifting weights in the gym. And just like with lifting weights, if you don't push past the burn, you'll never grow. This is where most people fail. They hit a roadblock, feel the pressure, and retreat back to comfort. They think they've reached their limit. But the truth is, they've only hit the surface. The real growth happens when you choose to persist when it hurts. When every part of you wants to quit, but you make the choice to keep going. Each time you build this mental endurance, you make the next obstacle easier to face. Willpower doesn't just grow in the absence of difficulty, it grows in the presence of it. The more you exercise your willpower by taking action in the face of discomfort, the more resilient you become. Life won't get any easier, but you will get stronger. When you face new challenges, you won't be intimidated by them because you've built a reservoir of strength within yourself. That strength will push you past mental barriers, past doubts, and past fear. And it won't just be your willpower that grows, your confidence will skyrocket. You'll know that no matter what life throws at you, you have the strength to handle it. You'll be unshakable. The beauty of this process is that willpower isn't finite. It doesn't run out the more you use it. It expands. And each time you overcome an obstacle, you're unlocking a greater level of mental toughness. It's the key to achieving your goals, pushing past limitations, and becoming the person you were always meant to be. This is why you need to constantly put yourself in situations that require you to dig deep, to force yourself into that uncomfortable space where your willpower is truly tested. That's when you grow the most. So understand this, the more you face discomfort, the more you push your limits, the more you strengthen your willpower. And with an unshakable will, there's no challenge you can't conquer. You'll have the mental fortitude to achieve anything you set your mind to because you've built the muscle necessary to carry you through even the toughest of times. And that's where real power lies. Growth requires risk, and those who shy away from it are the ones who will never know the extent of their true potential. Think about the stories of the most successful people throughout history. The ones who changed the world, built empires, and redefined what was possible. They weren't sitting in their comfort zones waiting for the right moment to strike. No, they stepped into the unknown, faced the fear, and took risks that most people would never dream of taking. They gambled everything on their dreams, on their vision, on their willingness to rise above the ordinary. What people often fail to see when they look at these success stories is the price that was paid. They see the fame, the wealth, the accolades, but they don't see the countless sleepless nights, the emotional and mental strain, the rejection and the failures. They don't see the countless times those successful people wanted to quit, wanted to go back to something safer, easier, but they didn't. They risked it all because they knew that there was no other path to growth. They knew that comfort doesn't breed greatness, and security doesn't breed transformation. The simple truth is, if you want something extraordinary, you have to be willing to risk something extraordinary. Every single time you take a risk, you're betting on your ability to succeed, and even more importantly, you're betting on your ability to handle failure. It's easy to play it safe, to stay within the boundaries of what you know, but nothing of significance ever came from staying in the familiar. That's where mediocrity lives. That's where complacency thrives. But here's the catch. Risk doesn't guarantee success. In fact, the odds are often stacked against you. You will fail. You will fall short. You will face obstacles that seem insurmountable. And you will encounter people who doubt you, criticize you, and tell you it's not worth it. The fear of failure, the fear of losing what you already have, will always try to pull you back into your comfort zone. And that's when you have to decide, will you be the person who retreats in the face of adversity? Or will you push forward, knowing that growth only happens when you step beyond what's easy? The risk is never about making it to the top without setbacks. It's about having the courage to try when everything inside you says you should stop. It's about putting it all on the line, even when you don't know how things will turn out. But what's the alternative? To stay in a safe, predictable life where nothing ever changes? To live with the regret of never knowing what you could have been if you had just taken that risk? That's a far worse fate than failure, because failure at least means you were trying, you were in the game. But regret means you sat on the sidelines, too scared to even play. So stop holding back. Risk discomfort. Risk the unknown. Risk everything that feels safe, because in that risk, in that discomfort, you will find your true power. You will find your strength, your resilience, and your ability to rise above whatever challenges come your way. Success is not for the faint of heart. And if you want to achieve something that sets you apart from the masses, you have to be willing to step into that discomfort and take the risks that others won't take. That's how you grow, and that's how you win. Success is often misunderstood. People see the end result, the accolades, the wealth, the recognition, and they envy it. But what they don't see is the daily grind, the sacrifice, the sleepless nights, and most importantly, the discomfort. The discomfort is the true measure of progress. Every time you feel the pressure, every time the fear or the uncertainty creeps in, know that you're moving closer to your goal. The truth is, if you're not feeling uncomfortable, you're probably not stretching yourself enough. Comfort is a trap. It lulls you into believing you're progressing, but in reality, you're standing still. Success, real success, is a product of constant growth. And growth doesn't happen in the easy times. It happens in the struggles, the challenges, and the discomfort. The discomfort isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're evolving. You can't expect to achieve anything extraordinary by doing the same old thing day after day. When you push yourself beyond your current capabilities, when you dare to step into the unknown, that's when the magic happens. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's scary. But if you're feeling that discomfort, it means you're on the right path. The path to success is paved with moments that will test your resolve. You'll encounter obstacles, setbacks, and times when you question whether it's all worth it. But let me tell you this, the very fact that you're being tested means you're being prepared. You are being groomed for something bigger than you can imagine. If you can hold your ground, if you can continue to push forward, even when everything inside you is screaming to give up, you will emerge stronger. You will be equipped with the resilience needed to handle the success you've been striving for. But here's the thing, most people don't make it. Most people quit when things get tough. They back away from discomfort and choose the path of least resistance. They settle for mediocrity because it feels safer. And in doing so, they give up their chance at greatness. But you are different. You're willing to push through the discomfort because you know that on the other side of it lies something extraordinary. You see, success isn't a destination, it's a process. It's a series of uncomfortable decisions and actions that compound over time. Each decision to keep going when the going gets tough is another step toward victory. Every time you lean into the discomfort, you build a habit of resilience, a habit of overcoming, a habit of not letting anything stand in your way. That is what separates the winners from the losers. The winners embrace discomfort and keep moving forward. They know that nothing worth having comes without sacrifice. The discomfort you feel now is temporary. It's a fleeting moment in time that will fade away as soon as you break through it. And when you do, you'll look back and realize that the struggle was worth it. The pain was worth it. The fear was worth it. Because it's all part of your transformation. So the next time you feel that discomfort, don't shy away from it, embrace it, run toward it. Because success is just on the other side of that discomfort, and you're closer to it than you think. Keep pushing, keep fighting, keep moving forward. The success you desire is waiting for you to claim it, and it's only a step away. So what are you waiting for? If you want to get anywhere in life, you have to start doing the things that scare you, the things that challenge you, the things that make you uncomfortable. Stop being a bystander in your own life. Force yourself into discomfort and watch yourself transform. You have the power to change your future if you're willing to do what it takes to get uncomfortable. Now get out there and make it happen.